Hey everybody, and we're back. This is the number 2 video. All right, we're just cruising through it. This one is called Health is Wealth, and that could not be further from false because it's so true. I don't know where I was going with that. Okay, so health is wealth, and those are facts. And um, relying on any sort of outside substance is false. Now, it's important because this first series, we're just noticing and naming. We're talking about facts, talking about what's going on in the world. We're just making sure that we are in the right healthy mindset for this journey. And I really, truly believe in that. So, what I mean by health is wealth is when you are healthy and you do feel good inside, it dominoes into all the other parts of your life. And these are facts. These are facts because they are true. So when we are taking really good care of ourselves and we're eating good food and we're moving our body, regardless of what the number on the scale says, we have a better mindset, a healthier mindset. We have better energy. We have better brain functions going on in our head, because when we're not eating the foods that we're supposed to be eating, the right kinds of foods that have all the minerals and the nutrients that our bodies are made to consume. It's like dopamine. It's like drugs. So let me explain drugs to you. um I guess I will. So whenever you do any kind of drug, depending on the kind of drug, this isn't a show talking about drugs, but I do have some knowledge and some backstory history on drugs in general. And when you do drugs and you get high, it affects the dopamine receptors in your brain. That exact same reaction happens when you eat junk food. So whether it's Takis or a large Slurpee or maybe like an awesome quarter pounder with cheese or anything that we are not supposed to be eating that's so delicious and brings us joy, um, they send similar things to our dopamine receptors, and we're like, oh yeah, we're so happy. I have some really fun stock footage that I will show you that displays that in a minute. And so it's really about like vanity, no, vitality, yes. I think I know when I was young, I know I know. When I was young, all I wanted to do was basically look like Alicia Silverstone from Clueless. And if you resonate, shout it out in the comments. Yeah. I'm not blonde. I wasn't born blonde, and I wasn't born with that waistline. And so very difficult for me to do that. Although I definitely tried really, really hard. Or another one who did have dark hair was Liv Tyler in Dazed and Confused. Is she not so hot? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to look like that. I tried really hard, I promise you, and not in healthy ways. So in high school, I just like didn't eat between junior and senior year, and I worked out all the time. I took like half a dozen different dance classes every week, and I looked amazing senior year, but it wasn't in a super healthy way. I just wanted to have an amazing senior year of high school, and I was willing to do anything for that period. Um, I don't regret it because it is what I wanted. And at the same time, I know that it didn't start any sort of healthy patterns. It only started unhealthy patterns. And so I've learned over the last 20 plus years that it's way more important to start with focusing on just being healthy inside. And as time goes on, that radiates through your outside. And it's better to work from the inside out than the outside in. Um, there are a lot of options. There are a lot of ways you can change yourself. I'm not putting anybody down. I love everyone, but you can wear different clothing or do different procedures or change your hair, add eyelash, whatever you want to do. Like no judgment, but true inner beauty that shines on the outside comes from doing the work on the inside. And the work on the inside has to do with what you eat, how you talk to yourself, The way you speak to yourself is another big one. That was one of the videos I did sporadically last week that didn't have like a theme to it. I just wanted to start making videos. And since I am a team builder and I spent a lot of time talking to employees at companies about active listening and things like that, I really just wanted people to know that like a lot of what you're dealing with every day comes from the voices inside your head. And I know, as somebody who's yo-yo dieted for years, that it's the voices inside our head that are the true gatekeepers of our future. Because I don't know why I always think of that scene from Pretty Woman, such an impactful movie on my youth. But Julia Roberts is like, it's easier to believe the bad stuff. And I think that rings true for a lot of us. It's like you can have 5 people tell you, you're so beautiful, you have a gorgeous smile, this, that, and the other. But you have like 2 people that, either you're attracted to or you care about say something negative, you're not pretty or you're fat or whatever the case is. And it's devastating. Like you're devastated. And I'm only laughing because I've worked through so much of my own stuff. And so I can laugh about it now because I spent so many nights crying. So many nights crying. So many nights. There will be no crying here. Only good times and laughter and fun and unconditional love. That's what I offer. Unconditional love through YouTube. Because, you are number one. You are number one. I'm going to say that a lot because I think a lot of the people who resonate with what I've been through are people pleasers. I was a habitual people pleaser for a really, really long time. I always put people before myself. I think of that Aladdin movie, the original Aladdin cartoon back in the 90s. And you have the genie, Robin Williams is the voice. Oh, loved you, Robin Williams. R.I.P. You're the best. And he would go, poof, what do you need? Poof, what do you need? Poof, what do you need? And I just have been that person my whole life for everybody. And it was at the detriment of my own well-being and my own security and my own progress. And I don't regret it because I do love helping people. But I do know now that I can't put people before myself, right? And maybe you resonate with that. Yeah. And I think part of learning about all of this stuff was what was so helpful to me because I didn't realize that by putting other people first, I was hurting myself. And so maybe that resonates with you a little bit. Okay, so back to what I want to talk about. I've got some amazing stock footage. Well, I looked out at this paper to read you some notes. What behind the scenes? I'm telling you what's happening in real time. Okay, so let's look at this amazing stock footage while I try to read some of these amazing facts. I do not have a teleprompter at this time. It will happen in the future, and then I can just look into the camera, and the words will be behind. We're not there yet. Okay, here we go. Stock footage. So that's like your brain. It's your brain on drugs. Remember the Dare commercials? Anyways, and the egg when they crack it. Okay, we're not talking about crack. We're talking about the way that we feel when we look in the mirror. Look at this amazing stock footage. This is a beautiful woman, but I know she's looking in the mirror thinking like, what about me? Do I feel good? And we want to feel like happy like these skinny ladies in this stock footage. But we have to realize that self-esteem is often shaped by comparison with peers and with a tendency to compare ourselves more frequently than those perceived or as attractive. However, such assessments are subject to exaggeration and often misaligned with reality. In context of social media, there's an additional risk of comparing ourselves with others that we never met in real life, which is a distorted perception. And I want you to feel good about yourselves. I want you to get into a calm place where this is like this is fun for you. And it's tough because there's not a lot about any of this that can be considered fun at times because we have this reward mechanism, and I'm going to talk about in another video where it's like the food that we're triggered by that's so good for us, that's delicious, is different. Like the Takis and the Taco Bell and the McDonald's, we eat that and we're like, yeah, happy, because it's sending drugs to our brain, directly to our brain. We're like, yeah, good, yeah, la. And then when we're eating like a salad with chicken on top, we're like, okay. But, That's supposed to be the good stuff. And so that just doesn't happen out of nowhere. It doesn't. It takes time. It takes time. So, like, no rush, right? You're beautiful. You're awesome, no matter what the number on the scale says. And we're just taking this one thing at a time, one moment at a time. What I do want to tell you, though, is as I try to look at this piece of paper and you at the same time, that the relationship between like what we see on social media and real life is cuckoo banana pants with the filters and all this stuff. There's this influencer, Sarah. She's young. I'm loving some of these young girls because I'm like, okay, where were you guys in my time frame? You know, right? Am I like Gen X or like I'm like at the cusp of the X and the millennial, a millennial X, a millennial X. Anyway, um, and I love that there are these influencers like Spencer Barbosa. She's from Canada. Now she's in Florida. Florida girls. Like she's amazing. Like these young women are amazing. I think they're so amazing. I've wanted to say that for so long because YouTube really helped me through a really tough time in my life over the past 5 years. That part of that was about my weight, but part of that was about other stuff. And I just saw these young women being so in love with themselves and putting it out there into the social media universe. And I was just so happy and brought so much joy to me. Like I'm a proud parent. I don't know these women at all. I don't even know who they, but I saw them and I was like, you are so fabulous. Like I'm gonna try to tear a little bit and I don't want to. I just think it's so amazing that these young women are like, yeah, this message needs to be out there. So I did a lot of science homework for this, guys. Okay. Like I was saying in the last video, food manufacturers take advantage of this on social media, right? And so everybody's so excited to get sponsors. Don't get me wrong, I would love some sponsors, but it's going to be tough because what I do is like, I want to tell the truth. I never want to lie. Like, it's just this issue that I have inside of me. And I think it's so unfair that they take advantage. It's like, you know, if there's this girl, this really skinny, popular girl you look up to and you see her on the, you know, Instagram or the TikTok or the YouTube, you know, and she's like, oh, this product's going to make you look just like me. Like, that's so unfair because she might be talking to a girl who's half her age and, you know, and trying and was like, oh, I have to buy that now. And then this like 12-year-old is like begging their mother for this product that, you know, it's something that you technically have to take your whole life to keep that weight or something along those lines. And it's unfair. And it's so before it was just like movie stars and commercials and you had your three big ABC, NBC, and then, you know, I mean, I lived on MTV when I was younger. I would like just go because my parents were pretty strict about television. And so we didn't have cable until I was 15. So between like 12 and 15, I would babysit, dog watch, house sit, anyone, anywhere in the neighborhood. Like please pay me so I can come over to your house and watch House of Style with Cindy Crawford and watch MTV's pool parties and clubhouses and all the things. And then I would, because my parents were really good. They were good parents. I love them very much. But they were really good about not having too many sweets in the house and trying to feed us as healthy as they could. But again, I feel like they didn't even know what was going on then in the 80s. Like this food situation has been going on like 1,000, that's too many. 100 years. I think saccharin was involved about 100 years ago, and saccharin's like a version of fake sugar. And we have to realize that these companies, there's like scientists that are literally paid like thousands and hundreds and thousands of dollars to come up with chemicals that will bring us to like a bliss point is what it's called. I think I talk about it in another video. But basically it's to keep us addicted like drugs. So again, like drugs, be sure that is the brain thing. Where's the brain thing? No, wait, that's not what I want. Look at that. Look at that brain. That's your brain on drugs, but it's also your brain on McDonald's. Your brain on drugs at McDonald's. So it's like, you know, it's like the odds are stacked against us, right? From the beginning. And so I am looking down and I apologize. But yes, the way that they do this is they give the cute, hot, young social media people some thousands of dollars, and they advertised their product. Oh, do you remember, what was it, like 10, 15 years ago? Paris Hilton and Audrina Patridge, they were like eating those Carl's Jr. burgers in bikinis. Like, that is not real life. Okay. I'm not saying that a woman can't eat like that and still wear that bikini, but she also either has to have the metabolism that goes along with it, or she exercises really well, or that's her like naughty meal for the week. Like, it's just, science is science. And so I just feel really pulled to talk about social comparison theory. Where is this information from? This is from the National Library of Medicine. So basically, they did this whole study search on like a few hundred people, and they asked them questions when it came to social media and about whether they believe the people and when they buy their product and all of that, right? So there are some healthy statistics on that, because it's about 50-50, like who would go for it and who wouldn't. But it doesn't really matter, because my whole point of this video is like, I want you to be healthy from the inside out. I don't want you to be healthy from the outside in, right? That's number one. Let's go to the takeaways. We're at the takeaways. That's not the takeaways. Okay. I want you to be healthy from the inside out, not the outside in, right? So, I mean, you can do whatever you want on the outside, have fun, dress up, whatever you'd like. But as far as your health goes, it's from the inside out. Number two, don't be taken advantage of. Do not let these multi-million, billion-dollar companies sell you on anything like, you need this, you need that, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. Like, there is no quick fix. There isn't. You can try. I tried for 20 years. Didn't work. Please learn from my experiences. Save yourself 20 years. Save yourself 20 years. It does not work like that. And number three, no comparison. I don't care. Social media, I don't care if it's in the movies. Do not compare yourself to these people. I live here in Hollywood. These people do not eat. And the really funny part is, when the tourists come, they got all the naughty food available for them. But I'm telling you right now, these people in these TV shows, they are not eating any of this tourist food, okay? And it's so funny, because the more up like you go, because I worked events for like so many years. I worked the Emmys, I've worked the Oscars, I've worked the Nick Kids Choice Awards, I've worked in private celebrity homes and on the beaches and all of that. Like, these people are eating fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables. These, whether they're rich or they're famous or they're both, they're eating fruits and vegetables. Okay. Like, watch Bethany Frankel. She has lots of money now, and she's doing great. And she's like, this is my supermodel snack. It's a supermodel snack because if you want to be that thin, that's how you have to eat. So I think it's really important to know that you're perfect and that you don't need to be compared to anybody else on social media. And that if you do want to lose weight, like I do, like, that's the goal here. These are just the facts up front so that we don't fall into these traps, okay? We don't buy products we don't need. We don't fall into comparison theory. Your journey is not like anyone else. And these things, like, really hold true for everything else in your life. Like, also, don't compare yourself to anybody when it comes to work. Don't compare yourself to anybody when it comes to relationships. Don't compare yourself to anybody, period. We're all different, unique individuals. I'm all about healthy competition, but I'm not about unhealthy comparison. Okay. So that's important. I wanted you to know about social comparison theory, because these are things that scientists are studying, because I do think we don't even know, like, the serious long-term effects of a lot of the drugs we're putting out there for weight loss, and a lot of the side effects, detrimental long-term effects to social media, right? So I just really felt called to put out into social media my feelings about it, because I have a voice too, and I want you to know that you don't need any of that. If you really want to lose weight and get healthy, you can totally do it. It's a very long journey. You should try to make it as fun for yourself as possible. And that's what we're going to do here. I want you to have a good time. I want you to enjoy it. And I also know that, like, being the best version of yourself in any way, whether it's health or finances or work or relationships or whatever, it takes work. Like, oh, who's the other guy on YouTube? I think it's fantastic. Jimmy on Relationships, I think is what he's called. He is a delight. And I think he's really put in the work too. And I think that's really what it takes. Like, if there's an area in your life and you're not happy with it, you have to put in the work. There's no Magic wand. Why don't I have a magic wand here? It's my ruler. My magic wand ruler. That's not a thing, you know? Like, I love the concept. I want, give me some magic wands, but we're here in reality, and in reality, you are the boss of you. So, one more time for the takeaways. Oh my God, it's so close. Back it up. Back. Why is that? Back it up. Back. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Back it up. Okay, we're going to wrap this up. The camera's getting really attached. Health is wealth. That is facts. Don't compare yourself, and make sure you remember that it's from the inside out, and people can tell. I promise. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.